get ready with me while we talk about Pedro Lopez. Pedro Lopez was born October 5th, 1947, which was days for my birthday, actually. But he was born October 5th, 1947 by his two parents, which was Belinda and Magdando Reyes. So his mother worked at a laundromat. That's really all we genuinely just got from her as a backstory, was that at this point in time she worked at a laundromat. And yeah, that's basically it. Now Pedro's father was a rancher by trade. I'm guessing he just trade and sell shit. I'm guessing he just like trade and sold things. Belinda went on to say that he was murdered by neighboring a hamlet. Belinda stated that he was the leader of a self-protection group aligned with the Colombian Liberal Party. But then she goes on to later describe him as a member of the Conservative Party. He passed away 6 months before Pedro was born. So after all this happens, you know, Belinda's like, screw this shit, okay? So she went and moved in with her mother, and she was bedridden from all the grief, of course. But it says that she was bedridden while all of her midwives pretty much just stayed with her till the baby was born, aka Pedro. And goes on to Pedro talking about his childhood and how it just wasn't a good environment. He didn't like where he was. It was violent, and it just weren't good to him. And the fact that he didn't have a father just really messed him up as a kid. Fast forward to when he was 8 years old, he was caught groping his sister. Didn't really specify. Don't really think it needed to, but just said that he was caught groping his sister. And after that, his mom kicked him out. Mind you, he was 8. Understandably, you know, you don't really want to catch your child doing that, but also you don't kick your 8-year-old child out. Okay, you don't do that. And he was one of 13 children. I forgot to mention that, sorry. He was one of 13 children. He was the 7th children to be born. Okay. Well, you know, this wasn't really the greatest, I will say. Like I said, she kicked him out and then about a year, he was just wandering the streets of, you know, where it was. So, like I said, he goes on to talk about how he had a horrible childhood and it wasn't the greatest. He was caught groping his sister, which is not great at all either. You know, you had went on to talk about how he only viewed his mother as a prostitute and that he just did not freaking like this lady. It was said that neighbors also said that she just would not let him play with the other neighbors' kids, would not let him really leave the house, really do anything. You know, and that they said that also she just would not really socialize with anyone, and that she just kind of kept to herself. Fast forward, Pedro said that he would often see his mother and stepfather have, I don't know how to, intercourse, in front of him a lot. They would just have sex a lot in front of him. And that's not really great for a child to see. You know, that's just not, no, not at all. And she said that from a very young age. He said that he just did not like her and didn't really want to have anything to do with her, which is, I guess, fair. And he also went on to say that the only thing that she could do and that was okay about her was that she would have children by different men. The only thing that she was good for is putting children on this earth. Well, clearly not, because of the way he turned out, but what I just said right there, it was taking place before he was 8. At 8, he was caught groping his sister, you know, and then he was kicked out, just gone out of the household. Did not want him anymore. Just great parents, genuinely, you know what I'm saying, like, just amazing parents. He was kicked out. He pretty much just roamed the streets of Tangalo, I think it was, and it just was not a great time for him. He lured in to a man's house that offered him food and shelter, and it was not great. Now, it does not go on to say if anything had happened to him, if he was molested or raped, or if anything, but based on the context clues, I mean, if he was lured in, it was for a reason, so I'm guessing something, you know, bad happened. Now, his mother went on to say that she did not kick him out and that he ran away on his own, which, you know, we can all guess. He did not just run away on his own. He was like 8. Well, that was, you know, great, to say the least. About 10 years later, this was in 1958 that he had ran away and did everything. 1969, he was arrested for theft, automobile theft. He had 7 years. He had got out in 1978, and in that time span of 1978 to 1980, he said that he had killed over 100 women, 100 girls, I should say. So they couldn't really fully confirm the 100 girls thing, but they do know that he had attempted to take a 9-year-old girl from. His thing was that he liked to take kids or women, to take street kids that were just all alone, or you didn't have places to go, or people from tribes, women from tribes. And then he would rape them, do things to them, you know. But this one little girl he tried to take, doesn't really say her name. I think that that's good though that they didn't put her name on there. He tried to take her, and the tribe found him and beat him to death for hours. Again, at the very end, they're like, yeah, no, I think we beat him enough. They buried him up to his neck in sand and just pretty much left him there. He said that they poured syrup on him so that way the animals and things would eat him alive, which is not true because they left him there for a little bit and then they took him to the police. Instead of him getting arrested, they just kicked him out of the country, which is where he ended up in Peru, which is all of his killings are. You know? All of his killings are in Peru. So in that year span, he killed multiple women and kids. It was mostly preteens. That's what he liked, was them youngins. So, you know, yeah. Okay, so I'd gotten my facts mixed up. I'm sorry. It was that he got kicked out of Peru and that all of his killings were in Ecuador. Now, May 5th, 1979, he met a woman selling newspapers. After that, he had helped her out a little bit, and then he had, you know, raped and killed her and left her under a bridge. Now, this man is just really just like, this man's like really screwed up in the head. Okay, like he is just gone. And now, like, I've seen I've seen this like thing where it's like, oh my gosh, like all killers have one thing in common, like their childhood. Now, he did have a messed up childhood. Yes, that does not mean he needed to go out and kill all these women. Now, he had killed, so they think that he said that he has killed 300 women, people in general. Now, they've only found about 130 that they know for sure. So now I'm just like wondering, like, where are these other bodies at? Where are these other bodies out there? You know? So, you know, that was nice. Just like, he's just very a messed up man. I mean, I don't really know another way to say it. He had killed Flora Alba Sanchez. The other 2 murders were 2 young girls on December 21st, 1979. He didn't have any chill time. If he wanted to kill, he wanted to kill. He wanted to kill good. Okay, he didn't waste any time whatsoever getting what he wanted to get done. Mind you, killers, good ones, well, yeah, good killers anyways, they always wait and they plot, usually. Brother got straight into it. Okay. He saw what he wanted, what he needed, and he took it. He genuinely did. Now, I'm glad that he did it so fast, because if he would have probably would he have handed out, would probably would have taken longer to catch him and he killed more people. Because I mean, if he could kill like 300 people in 2 years, think of how many more he could kill if like he actually like fully planned this shit out, you know. So I am glad that he was caught. Now, I don't know, brother was just not great. 1980, Sanchez was found 20 days later. She was found by another young girl, Blanca. They had signs of torture. Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense because, I mean, you know, he's not gonna like play it with him and let them go. But, you know, I just figured, you know, he'd have some humanity and not torture every fucking body. Not torture every body. But they had been tortured and raped as well. Now there's so many of these, I don't even know what the freak you would call it. There's just so many of these killings that I can't even get into because I mean there's so many. But we'll go again. So January 10th, he abducted Ivana. January 10th, he's just 1980. Dude, these are like not. He's just all over the place with it. I don't know. It was a 9-year-old girl. She was walking home from, she was headed to school, I should say. She was headed to school and he had abducted her and raped her, killed her. She was later found at the plaza in an old shack. People said that he was often sighted around the shack a lot. And he would offer money to girls if they would accompany him. Sometimes he'd even act like he was a vendor and like, you know, come back here and I'll show you what I got back here. You know, glad they didn't do that though. I mean, you know, that's just stupid. Or so it was like, you know, like a little, it wasn't like a small place, of course, but I mean, it wasn't like a really huge one in the parts that he stayed at. So it was very like, everybody knew each other and everybody like felt safe and comfortable. Which is what made it worse because, you know, it's just sad and screwed up. Now, he would also just, like I said, to pay them money and see if they would accompany him, or he would act lost and like he needed help, or he'd ask for bus routes or where they are, or just a lot of things like that. And it was just, I don't know. Brother was just not a nice guy, of course. You know, screw him. Now, he would also, in this part of town, he always stayed at the plaza. That was one of his biggest places that he would like to stay at the plaza. That's where he liked. This is like this like little pizza place and like where like markets were and like vendors were. That's where he liked to stay. I guess he felt a little safe there. Piece of shit. Now, you know, this guy honestly like really just like pisses me off. I mean, you know, of course he will. I mean, of course he would. But I mean, like, dude. Like, it's not even like women. It's preteens. Like, getting your period. Like, starting to. Like, but they don't even have, like, developed bodies yet, dude. Like, I don't know. Pisses me the fuck off. Okay. And, you know, he would often stand by and he would read the local newspapers of the missing kids. And he would read them out loud with a crooked grin or a smile. And that wasn't their first little thing. Like, hey, you know, this guy's creepy, man. This guy looks like he's doing something. I don't know. They also, he really stood out because he was tall and he had like this like really freaking weird nose. They said, I mean, also I did see the mugshot. He does have a weird nose. And then people he was just like a really weird guy, you know? I mean, you know, understandable. I mean, he just was, pretty much. Can't stand weird people. That's why you never trust weird people. Or, like, people things. I mean, he would just grin at that, and it was very... It just wasn't pleasant, of course. Just a weird guy. I really don't understand how they could, like, let him... And, like, a lot of people said that he was weird, too. So, like, it wasn't just, like, one or two people, like, yeah, I knew him, he was kind of weird. It was, like, a lot of people spoke up, said that he was weird. And that his mother was weird. And they just, like, didn't... didn't do much. Which they should have, because... You know, see where he is now. Which actually, you don't know where he is now. But... You know, whatever. So then he gets caught again, of course. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. He has an entire list of people that he has. So out of about 17 people that they know of right now, only 2 of them are from Colombia. Only 2. Which, I mean, I wouldn't want it to be higher or anything, but I mean, it's just, out of all the people, only 2 of them are Colombia that they know of. And he would, like, just stash bodies places, under a bridge, in a shack, 2 buried beside each other. At least be better at it. And I feel like at that point, like, I think that he just, like, wanted to get caught. I don't think he had any remorse, though, sadly. But I just think he wanted to get caught at that point in time. I mean, you know, he had to. I don't know. Police started realizing that people were going missing, like, the first about 2 days that he was kicked out of freaking Peru. But they just wrote it off as child trafficking, and that, you know, there's just a lot of trafficking and stuff going on. Okay, yeah, fine. Well, then after a while of all this stuff going on and going down, he finally gets caught. I just want to say how he gets caught. It just that he gets caught and he gets sentenced to 16 years in prison in Ecuador. Now, he gets out after 14 years. He had a 16-year sentence, which already wasn't enough. I believe it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. 16 years. Okay? 16 years and you get out early? Yeah, no, thank you. Like, I don't understand how they just, like, let people roam free. I don't know. 16-year sentence in Ecuador, released after 14 years, and then he was committed to a mental hospital in Colombia in 1994 to 1998. Now a span of crimes, though, were from 1969 to 1980. That's not really like, just let this man get free. I don't know. But also he vanished in 1999. Have no clue where this man is now. I have no clue. Just vanished. Just let him vanish. Now here's some of the other victims that he had. It's just very sad. After all things that he has done, I guess you could, like, say, like, oh, he is mental. But I think they should have kept him in prison. They should not have let him out. 14 years. I know this man is just not great. I mean, you know, of course. But, oh my gosh, this man. Well, that was the story today, folks. Don't know where he's at. Don't know what he's doing. I mean, he would be 77 today, though, so I don't really think that he could do much, but you never know. If they wanted to, they would. Genuinely, and that goes for everything. Okay, unless he's like wheelchair bound. He might even be dead. You don't really know. But I hope y'all enjoyed this story as much as I did, and y'all liked all this. First video in years. I really rushed through it, and I didn't really put as much empathy and just a lot of emotion with this. I just really wanted to, like, you know, get her done. This was a very long one. And this video would have been way longer if I would have kept every single thing in. There were a lot of key details and parts that I did miss. So I might do like a part 2 on it, and like, or hell, I might even redo it and do the entire thing. But it'd be about like a 40-50 hour video, which is the only reason that I haven't. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing more videos like this. True crime makeup, true crime, get ready with me, true crime, you know, just things like that. I enjoy looking into the deranged psychopaths and just like weird people. So yeah, no, I hope you all enjoyed, and if y'all enjoyed, bye.